can I just say one thing firstly? I love the name Eat Sleep Boxing Repeat.
Welcome back to ESBR Boxing's YouTube channel. Delighted to be joined by Danny. We are in final prediction mode for the main event in Birmingham on Saturday, June 21st. WBC interim flyweight title on the line here as Galal Yafai takes on veteran Francisco Rodriguez Jr. It's a cracking fight, Danny. You know, I think this has maybe gone under the radar a little bit. It's a good test for Galal Yafai, I believe. And yeah, it's a fight I'm actually really looking forward to. I'm excited to tune in for on Saturday night. But yes, I'll hand the floor over to you, Danny. Let us know your final prediction for Galal Yafai against Francisco Rodriguez Jr.
Maybe going to surprise a few people here. I'm going to go with Francisco Rodriguez to win this fight by a stoppage. I think people are maybe getting a bit carried away with Yafai's win over Sonny Edwards. Like, let's not forget that's Sonny Edwards who did not want to be in the ring that night. He literally said it. He, by all accounts, from what I've heard from people in and around him and his team and around boxing, he didn't really have a camp for that fight. And yes, Yafai couldn't have really done much better. He dominated the fight from start to finish, but like he was landing nothing but, including the kitchen sink on Sonny Edwards, and took him a while to stop him. There was nothing coming back. You know, Francisco Rodriguez, he's had a very competitive fight with some of the biggest names in and around the lower weight classes. Junto Nakatani, Kazuda Ioka was a very close fight. The only man to stop him, a sort of close to prime Chocolatito Gonzalez. And I think that experience, that toughness, that punch power, you know, let's not forget, Yafai had a split decision not so long ago against a Mexican whose name I can't remember, but who had a very low knockout percentage and was nowhere near the quality of fighter, Francisco Rodriguez. And whilst Yafai has improved, obviously since then, I'm not sure he'll improved enough to, you know, bridge that sort of gap. And I think in the second half of the fight, it's Yafai. I'm not convinced by his ability to fight on the inside, and I think that's where Rodriguez could get on top of him and stop him somewhere in the second half of the fight.
Very, very interesting, mate. I mean, you've backed it up there, but you've backed up your opinion with a few, you know, you look at the experience level, the difference here. Yes, Yafai maybe played amateur for pretty long, Olympian, won the gold medal, etc. But like those names that you rattled off, they're just those three, you know, your Ioka, Nakatani, and Chocolatito, like a nearly a prime Chocolatito, as you said. Even just being in the ring with people like that, you know, like that's going to stand you in good stead. Big puncher himself, as you said. So I mate, I don't think it's completely out of the question. I don't think it's maybe it'll shock some people, and he probably is an underdog, but I don't think it's completely outlandish call from yourself. I am going with you, Fi. He's got a big, you know, he looks, if you look at it on paper, and he only had 8 or 9 fights. So you look on paper and it looks like he's a massive puncher, Yafai, just because of the stoppage percentage. I think this goes the distance though. Don't think Yafai, sorry, if Yafai is the win, I think it's on points. I do think Rodriguez could stop Yafai if that's going to be the outcome. But if Yafai wins, it's on points for me. I think it'll be a tough fight. He'll really have to bite down on the gum shield and come through a bit of adversity, maybe. Perhaps even maybe I don't know, get off the deck or something like that. But um, I'm going to back Galal Yafai to win this on points, and I think it would be a big win, mate. Because I think
Definitely.
maybe I don't know whether you agree, mate. I think it's definitely has gone under the radar for me this fight. I think it's a tricky fight for Galal Yafai. I take my hat off to him. It is a good fight. Also, but you know, say this is his last fight if he is to win it before going and fighting these bona fide world champions. Like it's a proper good test. Someone like this you really need. Like if he comes through Rodriguez and looks good, then the world's your oyster really with Galal Yafai, I think. But it all depends on because this is an acid test for sure. Would I be overly shocked if you called it right and Rodriguez won via stoppage? Probably not, mate. But yeah, I'm gonna back Yafai. I'm gonna back Yafai to win on points. Maybe that Birmingham crowd will at Resorts World will get him over the line down the stretch. Who knows? But yeah, I'm hoping I think it'll be a good fight. I think it'll deliver as well. But yeah, I'm going Yafai. You're going Rodriguez via stoppage. So yeah, interesting one. Just before we round off, mate, the flyweight landscape. A few different world champions. But I think yeah, I think most people have is it Taraji is number one. But do you think Galal Yafai could mix it with those guys, or do you think it very much depends on how he looks here at the weekend?
It completely depends on how he looks. If he comes through this fight in good fashion, then I give him a good shot of beating Taraji, which is who he's likely to fight as he's gone down the WBC route. Also factoring in that, Taraji had an incredibly tough fight last time out, fight of the year contender against the QA, got a last round stoppage. But if Yafai comes through, doesn't ship too much punishment, it could be a case of getting Taraji at the right time, who's had a lot of tough fights, who, Yafai would have a lot of physical advantages over. But all depends on Saturday night, mate. Obviously, I said I'm picking Rodriguez to win, so I can't start saying, Yafai smashes Taraji to bits, unifies the division. But if he does come through the fight against Rodriguez in good fashion, then he'll have made a believer out of me. And as I say, I would give him a good chance against any champion at 112 pounds.
Yeah, we'll learn a lot. I think that's maybe the case here. We'll maybe put the brakes on any further predictions on how Galal Yafai would fare in world title fights, but very much depend on Saturday night. Like, if he puts in an emphatic performance, imagine, see if he was to get the stoppage or something, that would be a massive statement. Like, that would be huge.
Huge.
But yeah,
Yeah.
time will tell, mate. I think we'll see after the fight, and yeah, it's one I'm looking forward to. I hope it delivers. I think it will deliver, and yeah, it's definitely one that's gone under the radar, and a couple of good wee domestic clashes on the undercard as well. So yeah, looking forward to this one on Saturday night in Birmingham. Danny, appreciate your time as always, mate. Guys, hit that subscribe button if you're not doing so already. All your boxing needs under one roof, and also let us know in the comments what you think. We're going. Danny and I are going against each other here in our final prediction. So let us know your thoughts. Could divide opinion this fight. And yes, well, let us know your thoughts and how you see this one going out, and perhaps whether or not Galal Yafai does become a full world champion in the aftermath in his next fight. Danny, appreciate your time as always, mate. I'll speak to you again very soon.
Cheers, Paul. Cheers, folks.